don't think many of us realize just how spiritual life is. We take for granted what prayer does, the importance of having a very strong spiritual life. We take it for granted, but you don't realize that you're walking around and so many of the things that manifest in the physical always begin in the spiritual realm. Your health, your finances, your mental stability, like everything that manifests in the physical, everything you experience in your life always starts somewhere spiritual. So if you're joking around with praying, if you're joking around with aligning yourself spiritually, if you're joking around with your relationship with God, your whole life is going to be a joke. Because there's forces that you don't see that are manipulating and influencing your life. You're wondering why your relationship is always having problems, why you're always having problems at work. Because sometimes you really do put your all into doing everything physically possible. You're a good person, you work hard, you educated, you do so many things in the physical that you think are supposed to put you somewhere, but you're not reaping the rewards of all your efforts. Why? Because there's something in the spiritual realm that you're not taking care of. Which is why I think it's important to always have a very strong relationship with God. Make that your priority. It doesn't matter, what religion or how you communicate with God. That's up to you. How you contact Him is up to you. But you can't do life alone. You cannot do life without prayer. You cannot do life without any sort of spiritual backing, because you're interacting with people on a day-to-day basis. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what their intentions are for you. You don't know what's backing them up. So for you to just come with by yourself, you're entering rooms where not everybody has good intentions for you, and you want to be there by yourself. It will definitely not work out. They'll definitely eat you alive. You need to have God. That's the first thing. So when you enter into a room, you're not entering by yourself. When you speak, you're not speaking by yourself, because there's a force that backs you. You start to move with a certain confidence, not from your own ability, not from, oh, I'm beautiful, I'm educated, and so on and so on. Your confidence will come from somewhere deeper, somewhere higher. It will come from God Himself. You are protected as you go into certain spaces, because who you carry within you will be so bigger than anything that you face outside. So I'm from a Christian background, so most of the things I'll be saying will be Bible related or from a Christian perspective. But I don't really think it matters what your religion is, as long as you have that connection to source. You have that, you know who God is to you. And I think it really matters that you bring Him with you. Where you go with God. When you speak, let it show that there's something bigger. Because I'm telling you, I have seen some things in this life, and you truly suffer unnecessarily when you ignore the advantage that you have because you're God's child. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm some sort of pastor or a spiritual guru. No, I'm just a girl who loves God, just a girl who God loves, who understands that I cannot be me without God. I cannot be anything without God. I cannot have confidence without God. I cannot shine without God. And knowing that has really transformed my life. And it has given me some sort of grounding. Because I used to be so scared, of showing up in certain spaces, like, am I ready? Or, but when you have God, you move differently. How you respect yourself is different. How you allow other people to treat you is even different, because if you value yourself, you know, okay, I'm God's child. There's certain behaviors that I cannot entertain in my life. There's certain behaviors that I myself cannot be doing, certain things that I can't do. So you respect yourself differently, you move differently when you have that sort of a connection and relationship with God. So, and sometimes we think that, you know, maybe I'm too far gone or too broken or too messed up to be praying or having a relationship with God. Nobody's ever too far gone or too broken or too messed up to be able to run to God. He is a father of all. There are people who have murdered people, there are people who have stolen, there are people who do far much worse sins than you, and they have run to God. He has still accepted them because he is a loving father. There's something so deep about that when you understand it, that he loves you regardless of who you are, what you've done before. And at any time that you simply call upon his name, he is there. He will definitely show up in the space, because that's the kind of father he is. So, and me talking about God is not to say that I'm perfect. It's not to say I'm so holy, I don't have sins of my own. I have my sins, but even with sins, even as I struggle with my flesh and being human, it's part of being human, making mistakes, failing, sinning, doing all sorts of things that we actually know that are not good for us or are not good. But shame, guilt, and sin must never be the thing that keeps you from God. They must actually be the thing that makes you run to God. You know? We need God, man.